What about now? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Up or down? Should the value be up or down? What's up, King of Nike? Yes, sir, bro. How does that sound? The sound quality, is it good? That's perfect. Okay. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate that, Bridget. Okay. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Thank you. Is that pop noise gone that I've been going through the whole season? Just to show y'all the mic. Here's the mic. What's up, Harambe? How's the sound, bro? Is it better than it usually is? Let me know how the sound is compared to the other lives. I don't got any ear. The ones this microphone is different. Sounds awesome. Thank you, Elisa. Okay. It's better than it was all the other lives, right? From my phone. Right. Okay. Sounds the same. Sounds okay. Sounds the same. Sounds okay. Okay, sounds the same. Okay. All right. So let's get started, guys. I'm not gonna hold you up. I got, let me see, one, two, three, four, five, six streamers, maybe seven. If you watched the whole video, you can. If you watch the whole live, guys, I got a bonus streamer for you for the week. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody being here. Sounds better. It's not going in and out like it used to. Okay, that's all I was talking about. Right, in and out. Just a nice little sound. Okay, so let's get started, guys. So listen, week 13. I'm gonna wait to get to news later. I don't want to mix news in with this. I want to go ahead and get to the streamers. But after that, guys, I'll get to everybody comments. So make sure you go to the comments if you want me to answer your question quickly. The super chat. Super chat. Okay, so the first guy I want to talk about is going to be Will Levis. Will Levis, guys, and the reason why I like Will Levis is he's playing against the Washington Commanders. To me, the defense is better with Dan Quinn calling plays, but I believe this defense can still be had. Now, listen, I'm not a big fan of Will Levis, but me using you to win a week is two different things. It's two different things. So I think Will Levis could put up a good top 12 week against the Washington Commanders. Now, we don't have anybody on a bye, but I still think he can reach top 12 because the Commanders is giving it up, guys. Two quarterbacks. Will Levis has been getting the ball to Calvin Ridley. Chigo Hikonko had a 70-yard play last week. Nick Westbrook and Keener is a touchdown machine. And you have Tony Pollard, who's a top 5 running back, who's been killing it all season long. So I think Will Levis is a good streamer for this week. I think you can use him. All right, another guy, before I move off the quarterbacks, this is a kind of a bonus guy for you. It's AR5, Anthony Richardson. Yes, guys, I like Anthony Richardson. Now, Anthony Richardson, guys, his completion percentage is never going to be great. It's never going to be in the 70s. I'm not saying it can't be, and maybe never is a strong word, but maybe I'm not looking for him to have a high completion percentage in the 70s. I'm not looking for him to have a completion percentage in the 65. I'm not actually looking for him to have a great QBR, even though I think his QBR can get a lot better. I'm looking for him to make big plays the whole game. And if you go back and watch the Detroit game, guys, he left a lot of yards out there. Not that he was overthrowing guys, but the team dropped some passes. He should have had 2 more touchdowns. And he left some play. He overthrew some guys too. But this guy had a good game against Detroit. Don't look at the score. Go back and watch the game. Look at some of the highlights. This guy had some good plays. AR is going to be fine. So I like streaming AR this week if you have to. Right? If you need a quarterback streamer or Will Levis. It's all about the matchups. AR going against the New England Patriots. They are good. They are a good young team, but they're not good enough to stop at AR5. Right? I'm willing to stream him if I need him. Now, listen, we don't got a lot of bye weeks. So maybe you don't need to stream, or maybe you do. I don't know. Right? So we just talking in context with everything. So Will Levis and AR5, AR15, whatever you want to call them, are my streamable quarterbacks of the week with great matchups. Let's move on to the running backs. Let's move on to the running backs. The running back stream guy that I'm streaming for the week is going to be Jalen Warren from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the main reason why I like Jalen Warren, guys, I believe in the pass catching situations which they're going to be in against Cincinnati. That offense is pretty good. Pretty good. I think Jalen Warren is going to catch 4 or 5 passes, and he's going to get some goal line work because he earned it in the last couple weeks. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to get 100% of the workload. I'm not saying that Najee Harris is going to get benched, but I believe that he's going to get 60% because of what he did last week, looking good. And I think that this guy could be a league winner. We don't know how many snaps he's going to get. He's out there on a lot of waivers. So if he get a touchdown a game for the rest of the year, I think he's a streamable top 24 type running back. So yes, Jalen Warren from the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Moving on, guys, to my wide receiver streamable guy of the week. It's going to be Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, hopefully, Trevor goes out and play, right? We think Trevor's going to play. But if you go back and look at Brian Thomas Jr. last game, he got a lot of first target shares. That means that the quarterback, when he dropped back, he was looking at Brian Thomas Jr. to see if he was open. And that's elite wide receiver type stats, right? That's what you look at when you're looking for a number one wide receiver. Usually target shares when the quarterback drops back for the initial look, it's probably the number one wide receiver most of the time. So Brian Thomas Jr. got 30% of that last week. So I think that's going to roll, not last week, but week before last. And I think it's going to roll over into playing the Texans. So start Brian Thomas. I know we're a little bit worried about him with the quarterback situation and everything going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think he's going to be a good streamable guy with this upside. You got a lot of upside there. I hate streaming guys with no upside. This guy has upside. All right, let's move on to a tight end. And this guy is going to be Kyle Pitts, guys. All right, let me find my notes on Kyle Pitts, guys. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. My notes moved. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So, guys, Kyle Pitts, we know Darnell Mooney had an injury last week or 2 weeks ago. I believe you have to get Kyle Pitts involved if you want to continue to win and try to make a run or push for the playoffs. You have to get Kyle Pitts involved. So if you have Kyle Pitts is out there on your waivers or you have him on your team, if you don't got Taysom Hill, if you don't got Travis Kelce or a couple other guys, then I would still play Kyle Pitts. I don't think the tight end position is going to kill you. Even if we have 2 tight ends that score 20 points, the rest of them are all scoring like 10. So if you get 5, 6 points, it's not going to kill you. Well, we don't want a zero, right? And I get it. Kyle Pitts has gave up some zeros in the past. But I think he's a guy that you got to go to that well and continue to go to the well because of his draft capital. Also, the target share. They know he is a guy that they need to get the ball in order to win games. So I like streaming Kyle Pitts this week. Also, he's playing against the Chargers. Now, Baron Davis is a good defender against tight ends, but he still can be had. So I still think Kyle Pitts could have 5 targets, 3 catches, 1 TD. That's his line. So I'm okay with that, streaming that. All right, let's move on, guys. The next guy's going to be a flex play. It's going to be James Cook from the Buffalo Bills. Now listen, we can't count on James Cook to really get the target share of elite running backs, like 20 to 15 touches. But with the way he's so explosive, guys, he don't need 15 or 20 touches. It doesn't matter that Ray Davis is coming and taking targets from him. Let me see here. Go pull up James Cook. So I believe with his pass catching ability and big play ability, all we need is one or two big plays, and he's going to reach his points that we need him to get, which is 15 points or so. And I think James Cook can get that. To me, guys, James Cook is a start every single week. He's volatile, but if you draft him, you have to play him. If not, you're not going to be able to get his boom games. It's never going to be consistent where 6 weeks in a row he's getting 20 touches. That's not James Cook game. Okay. And my DST streamable DST for the week, guys, is going to be the Cowboys. They going against rivalry, which is the New York Giants. So the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys are rivals. Dallas is not getting beat up by their stepchild rivals, right? We've been controlling Washington for years. We've been controlling the Giants for years. Even though Giants have won a Super Bowl since we have, but we still control them. We're not going to just let them beat us any given week. So with Michael Parsons coming back, this defense has changed the last couple weeks. That's why I kind of betted on the Cowboys winning against the Washington Commanders, because Jaden Daniels never seen a guy running a 4.2 coming off the edge, right? Most of the time, it's a big dude that runs like a 4.7, 4.8. You got Michael Parsons. He faster than Jaden Daniels. So he got to get used to that. Same thing with the Giants, with Tommy DeVito. He's never seen a guy coming off the edge like Michael Parsons. So the ball is going to be coming out fast and quick, and that's going to let the defense guys that they got, they very fast. They're not good against the run, but they fast. They're good against the pass. They're going to be funneling to the ball and trying to make turnovers against the Giants. And the Giants is despicable right now. So I like the Dallas DST streaming those guys. Now, people probably picked them up. So if you need another defense, I like the Seattle Seahawks. It's not great, but it is against the Jets. The Seattle Seahawks, they are so yes. The Seahawks. I like streaming the Seahawks. Guys, I was reading the comment. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, they're going against the Jets. Now, Aaron Rodgers is okay. I do think he's going to pass the ball a lot to Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. But the Seahawks still could hold them to 14 to 17 points. And that's all we need if we streaming a defense. We're not trying to get the best defense in the league. We're just trying to get a defense that's going to give us a few points. Okay. All right, let me go through some of these comments before we get out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's see. Okay, Zach. What's up, Zach? Zach says, start two. Jaden Reed, Tony Pollard, Brian Thomas Jr., Noah Gray, Devon Vale, Westbrook and Kano, Will Disley, Kareem Hunt. Starting two. Okay. So, I don't know if Isaiah Pacheco is coming back this week. But let's see if Kareem Hunt can break this lineup. Because usually I want to play Kareem Hunt. As long as Isaiah Pacheco's out, I'm playing Kareem Hunt every single time. So, I'm going to say Tony Pollard and Brian Thomas Jr. And the next guy that I would consider would be Kareem Hunt. Those are the three guys that I'll consider. Even though you need to start two, I would consider those three guys. So Tony Pollard, Brian Thomas Jr., and Kareem Hunt. The next question is, he says, start two. Jonathan Taylor, DJ Moore, Lab McConkey, Brian Thomas Jr., Tank Dell. I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr., and Tank Dell over McConkey. Now, McConkey I will consider, but I'm going to Brian Thomas Jr. and Tank Dell over Jonathan Taylor. Over John, I can't trust it. I can't trust it. I do think he needs to be started, but I think the Jonathan Taylor this week, the Patriots doesn't tell me that Jonathan Taylor is going to have a rushing touchdown. I think those goal line touches. So that kind of makes me fade away from Jonathan Taylor. Lad McConkey is the PPR monster for this team. He's getting all the targets. They can't count on QJ. So that's what makes me go to Brian Thomas, Tank Dell, and Ladd. Tank Dell, his win shares has been better since Stephon Diggs got hurt. Also, he's getting more targets and he's running more routes since Stephon Diggs got hurt. So I think going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, you need to try to get Tank Dell in there over even a Ladd McConkey and a Jonathan Taylor. So I would say Brian Thomas Jr. and Tank Dell. You could consider Ladd. Okay. Zach Seaman says Brian Thomas Jr., Vale, or Ertz. I'm going with Brian Thomas. What's going on, Eddie? Zach Seaman says start ETN, Brian Thomas Jr., Vale, or Ertz. I would go with Brian Thomas Jr. Trump says sounds good. Yes, sir. Okay. Rami says, I mean, on my end, I can't hear any bad audio. Right. Very clear. Thank you, King of Nike. Thank you. Soldier says, are you a rapper? No, sir, I'm not. I wish I had rapper money, though. Sparky. What's up, Sparky? Appreciate you being here. Harami says, how do you feel about Tyrone Tracy? I'm playing him. Until he go out there, bruh, and they put Devin Singletary in front of him and put him on the back burner, I'm going to assume Tyrone Tracy is still the leading back. If they do that, that shows how bad the Giants is. So they got to be careful how they do with Tyrone Tracy. Look how you mishandled Saquon Barkley. Look how you mishandled Daniel Jones. And people are saying they mishandled Daniel Jones. I'm not going to sit here and make no case for him right now. I'm just going to let it play out. But they said they mishandled Daniel Jones. So if Daniel Jones goes somewhere else and plays better, that's the Giants. Look at Saquon. We thought Saquon, he all right, he this and he this. Saquon is the best running back in the league. Might be a Hall of Famer. But we did not say that for the Giants. But we don't want to say that with Daniel Jones. We've seen it with Sam Darnold. We've seen it with Baker Mayfield. People change. So I'm using Tyrone Tracy. He said, I want to start, but I feel like it could be a trap. I have Najee also to plug in, but I don't like the matchup. Right. Bro, I would say, man, just play. I would go down with the ship with Tyrone Tracy. If he go out and get used, then you have to pivot off that for the rest of the year. I would do that over Najee because of Jaylen Warren playing so good and also having a good matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. Elisa says, TD, I need to win standard. Pick 3, Connor, A-Chain, Hubbard, Pacheco. I'm going with Hubbard, A-Chain, and Connor. Hubbard, A-Chain, and Connor. King of Nike says, I need your help today, brother. I clinched the playoffs, and I need a 4th quadrant, guys, for the playoff. And I need 4th quadrant. Okay, man, I got a couple 4th quadrant videos, but I'm going to try to do another one, especially probably tomorrow morning when I wake up before I eat. I'm going to go and do a 4th quadrant video and name some guys. But I get it. That's why I've been doing it for the last 2 to 3 weeks, because we need to hear it every time. And, guys, I don't say the same waiver guys. So it might be somebody on your waivers that you need to pick up, but I didn't mention him in my waiver video. I'm not going to kind of say the same guy over and over again unless he's just like at the top of my list. So you always can ask me, hey, what about this guy? I don't know who on your waivers. But far as 4th quadrant guys, man, yes, I will make a video on that tomorrow. I can't give it to you now because I'm not just going to sit here and look through the list and try to find random guys. But I will do maybe 10 guys that are 4th quadrant breakout stash guys. Appreciate you, King of Nike. Chris Cofit says, what up, TD? Man, QJ lost me. I lost the matchup because of him. I lost a couple matchups because of him. It's all good, man. I knew he could do that. I wasn't worried about it. Now, if he'd have went out there and got cheated, something happened that I couldn't see coming, I know he can drop passes in any time. That's just how it is. But he should not have dropped the pass. Same thing with Christian Watson. He should not have dropped the pass. This is what up, TD, man. QJ lost me the week. He got a good matchup. Would you use QJ, Vale, or Dunze, or RBJ? Who is that? I don't know who the RBJ is. Let me know in the comment section, bro, who RBJ is. I'm gonna look down at the bottom. Um, Brian Robinson Jr. Okay, if he's healthy, no, you good, Chris. You good. If Brian, I said Ryan. You got me saying Ryan now. If Brian Robinson Jr. is healthy, I'm playing him against the Titans. I know it's a tough matchup, but you got a Dunze who is volatile. You got Vale, he's volatile. QJ is a good play. He got a good matchup, but he can drop passes. So I would say it would be with me. It would be between Brian Robinson Jr. and Quentin Johnson. Cameron says currently in first in my 12-team full PPR league. My wide receivers are Chase, J-Mo, Worthy, Tillman, Odunze. Do I have a shot? Yes, you have a shot, bro. You got Chase and you got J-Mo with that upside. You got a shot. Worthy's getting better, and we don't know what Tillman and Odunze are going to be when week 15, 16 come around. I like those guys' upside. Excuse me. Chemistry just feel like aside from Chase, my other wide receivers are just shots in the dark. And sometimes that's all you need. You need that upside. J-Mo ain't no shot in the dark. He can give you 30 points, 20 points. He ain't no I think he's better than MVS, right? And I don't mean MVS as a player, just like far as the fantasy output. I think you can trust him more than that. I actually think, man, he got a nice role. He took over Laporta's role. Laporta, you can't even play Laporta anymore. So I like J-Mo. I think you got a nice team, man. I think you made space for your team. This is what I'm talking about when you need to have space. You don't need a bunch of top end guys. You couldn't get J-Mo in the game if you had a bunch of top guys. I think you have a perfect setup team, bro. Like if you got really great running backs and you got Chase and then you got J-Mo and Worthy and you can throw in anybody there who's booming, you ain't got to throw a guy who's boomed 2 weeks in a row over a guy who's been kind of consistent the whole year. You don't got that problem. Those are the problems that you don't want to have from fantasy. I see a lot of people like, should I play J-Mo or should I play DJ Moore? And you play DJ Moore just because he's the name, and J-Mo is the guy who got the upside. So I love you. I think you have a great shot. King of Nike says quarterbacks: Kyler Murray, AR5, wide receivers: AJ Brown, Zay, Tyreek, JSN, Josh. Running backs are Joe Mixon, Chase Brown, Bucky, Ramondre. Tight ends are Trey. Who do I need to add for the playoffs? Who do I need to add for the playoffs? Right now, bro, your team is set. I mean, there's nobody particular that's out there. I like Taysom Hill, but you got Trey McBride. Bro, like I said, I'm gonna make a video tomorrow about fourth quadrant players, and maybe that might have a sleep on there that you can pick up. Other than that, bro, I think you set. Eddie says Jeremy McNichols this week. Bro, I'm a little bit nervous about starting Jeremy McNichols. Last time Jeremy McNichols played, they gave Chris Rodriguez like 15 carries. If Jeremy McNichols score, he's a good start. If he don't score, I don't know. If he gonna catch enough passes for full PPR, I don't know, man. I'm just a little bit nervous. So I think he's a good pickup if you need to start him. But nobody has a bye week. So there's a lot of running backs out there that I believe you can play that might be on your team that might be better than Jeremy McNichols. I just can't trust it. I'm not saying Jeremy McNichols suck. I just don't think that they're going to give him 15 to 20 touches all in the green zone and let him see if he can score. I think it's going to be a rotation of backs. So that's what makes me nervous about Jeremy McNichols. I still think he's a great pickup. Harami says MHJ or Shakir this week. Bro, I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, if you got him right now on your team, if you can't play him now, you ain't gonna never be able to play him. So I'm gonna try to play him to catch the boom. To know what's gonna happen, we don't know. I don't know what they doing. This is why they want to take a rookie wide receiver, but I know this guy is special. He's talented. He's a different player. He's not a rookie no more. So, but I'm willing to play him over Shakir. Unless I just need a couple points and my team is already set and I just need somebody not to give me a dud, maybe Shakir is a safer play. But MHJ got all the upside in the world. Ed Tate says, how you feel about Gus this week? I like Gus, especially if J.K. Dobbins is out. I think Gus is going to get the goal line touches. I don't think Hassan Haskins is going to come in and take goal line touches. So it's all about goal line touches, which is the honey touches. We're not playing Gus to break no long run. We're not playing him to catch a pass. We're playing him for honey touches. 5 yards, 10 yards in. to see if he can score. That's what we playing Gus for. Eric, he said, what's good? Is Khalil Herbert still a stash? Yes, you still got to keep him stashed because you don't know what's going to happen to Chase Brown. Been going back and forth about dropping him for a wide receiver. It just depends on who you're trying to pick up. I always pick up the better player, but if you pick that player up, make sure you got a path for him to start. Don't pick up a guy just cause, hey, I like him and he looked good last week. Is he gonna start? No, I'm not gonna start him, but I just picked him up. No, don't do that. Don't pick up guys just to pick them up because they scored 10 points last week. If you're gonna pick up a wide receiver and you're gonna drop Khalil Herbert, make sure that wide receiver's got a path where he can start for you. Tron says, what up, TD? Happy Turkey Day, man. Yes, sir, man. Happy Turkey Day to you, too. King of Nike says, someone dropped Keon Coleman. Do you think he's a fourth quadrant guy? Yes, sir. Also, Watson was dropped. Both of those guys are fourth quadrant guys. We might be mad at Watson right now, but he's a fourth quadrant guy, and so is Keon Coleman. Ed Tate says, Gus or Pacheco. I'm going with Gus. King of Nike says, I'm starting AR5 over Kyler Murray this week. I ain't mad at you. Guys, I don't know. When you ask me a question, and you didn't ask me this, King of Nike, but when you ask me a question, AR5 or Kyler Murray, that's tomato. Kyler is volatile, but we know when he boom. And we know AR is kind of the same way. So you just got to feel good with the guy that you got. I'm just telling you, like, it's okay to do that with guys. That's what I'm trying to help you make that decision. Like, I'm not telling you, oh, you need to play Joe Burrow over Lamar this week because Lamar got a bad matchup. That's not what I do. I'm telling you, listen, if you want to play Joe Burrow because he got Jamar Chase, that's on you. I'm playing Lamar. That's fine. Both of the guys are kind of got a lot of upside. It's the same thing. So AR and Kyler are the same thing. Neither one of these guys are just like killing it, but they both got a lot of high upside. Me, I would probably rather go with AR5 too. But if I had drafted Kyler and I've been starting him all week, I don't know if I would flip him out. But with me just coming into your domain and looking right now, it's AR5. But if you had Kyler all year, I would feel like you could miss his boom game trying to rotate him in and out. Because I don't rotate quarterbacks. Whatever quarterback I start with and he's playing good enough for me to start him on a weekly basis, I'm going to stick with him if he has upside. Now, if it's somebody like a Kirk Cousins, yeah, I'll move off of that because he don't have the upside. Only throwing touchdowns is his upside. So that's the difference. Eddie says, hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Tron says, I just traded Tyreek and D-Hop to get Chase Brown. Overpaid, but needed another running back. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. You know what you did. It's fine. It doesn't mean it's a bad move. I wouldn't have done it, but I didn't build my team. You built your team, so you know what you needed. I like that you said that. He says, my roster is now JD5, Cup, JSN, Barkley. Okay, you got Barkley. You got JSN. You got Chase Brown, and Njoku McLaurin. You got Water. You got talent all over, bro. Tyreek, to you needed to make room for Chase Brown, so I got it. Yeah, you overpaid, but it's fine. That's what people would say. You overpaid. You actually done the move. You done a move that makes sense for your team, right? It was good for you to go and trade Tyreek and D-Hop to get a running back that was good on a good team. You didn't go get anybody. You went and got Chase Brown, who's playing on the best offense in the NFL. So I like that move. Tron says, I need 2 wide receivers and a flex for this week. Cut McLaurin, JSN, Monty Mooney, if he plays. I'm going to say JSN. Cup. And Waddle. I'm going with Cup, JSN, and Waddle. I'm going with Waddle over McLaurin because the Tennessee Titans defense is pretty good. Not saying they can shut McLaurin down, but McLaurin was shut down last week into the last 3 minutes of the game. So I'm going with Cup, JSN, and Waddle. Monty, I don't know how much he plays with the injury. I think he's going to be okay, but I'm just a little bit nervous. But if you wanted to play Monty over Waddle, I wouldn't say you was crazy. I just don't know if Monty's healthy all the way. Z says, TD, my guy, week 16, Falcons or Green Bay? Defense. Falcons got G-Man. Okay. And I'm doing that video too. That video's coming this week too. Far as fourth quadrant defenses. The Falcons got against the G-Men, and Green Bay plays the Saints. I think I'm leaning towards Green Bay too. I think I'm leaning towards Green Bay because the Falcons defense, man, they struggling. They haven't played good in like a month. So I would go with Green Bay. Z says Westbrook and Vele waiver wire fourth quadrant guys. I think Vele could be a fourth quadrant guy. I like him. I think he's straight, but it's a lot of guys over there, man. You got Torrey Franklin and you got Marvin Mims who's nipping on his heels. They are fourth quadrant type guys too. We don't know who it's going to be. I just got to do a little bit more research to see who the guy that I'm gonna put my stamp on. I don't know if it's gonna be Vale. But Westbrook, I do like Westbrook. I think it's other guys that are better fourth quadrant guys than him. He's very volatile. I think it's some consistent guys that people can get right now that's going to be good for the fourth quadrant. Quincy says Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels. I'm going with Jordan Love. Quincy says start two. Pacheco, Hunt, Tracy, Pollard, Bucky. I'm going with Pollard and Bucky. Anthony James says, would you start Taysom Hill over Pacheco this week in the flex? Probably so. Yes, I would do that, Anthony. Chris Cofield says Breach Halls has a questionable knee injury. Yes, I know. And I almost said it, but I didn't want to get off track. I wanted to keep this video in concise to the topic. But yes, it's a lot of news that I want. Maybe when I wake up in the morning, I might just do a video with all the news stuff and just talk about the news stuff. So yeah, Braylon Allen. I hope that if that happens, man. I mean, I need it for multiple weeks. I need Braylon Allen for the whole championship run. Quincy Davis says, need 2 wide receivers, need 2 flex. Cup, JJ, Neighbors, Tank Dale, Jennings. Need 2 wide receivers, need 2 flexes. So 2 wide receivers would be Justin Jefferson and Cup, and my 2 flex plays would be Neighbors and Tank Dale. Chuncho says, I know Njoku. I'm going with Njoku over I. Normally start both, but I'm a flex Gus this week. Dobbins should be out. Right. I would go with Njoku over an Odd. Jonathan says, Valdez Scant or Tyreek Hill. I'm going with Tyreek. I'm playing Tyreek. Especially, he put a meme out that about, how somebody looking behind him and looking at another girl. He was doing that talking to his coach. Like, man, you giving Waddle and you giving A-Chain all the targets for the touchdowns, man. You remember, I'm Tyreek Hill now. My wrist may be a little hurt, but I can still catch. So maybe it's getting into that, okay, Tyreek, we'll give you some targets. So I think maybe it can, his touchdown targets in the green zone probably could come back like it was last year. Am I a wishful thinker? Probably. But I know he did tweet that today, or not today, but a couple days ago after the game was over. So I'm gonna play Tyreek. Yes, Tyreek Hill has been a bust all season. Yeah, you can say that. He is a bust compared to what he did in the past. I ain't got nothing to say that, bro. And that was one of my players that I have to admit. I love Tyreek, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. With all due respect, says, what you think about Mike? I don't know who that is. With all due respect. Quincy Davis says, start 2, May, Russell Wilson, or Tua. I'm going with Tua and May. Fred says, Leggett or Calvin Austin at the flex standard. I'm going with Leggett. He said, how you like this ranking? Kamara, Chase Brown, Aaron Jones, Bucky Irvin, Tony Pollard. I like them. I like that ranking. Kamara is better than all those guys. Chase Brown right there. Aaron Jones, but yeah, all those guys are good. Jimmy said, do you think Murray gets back on track against Minnesota? Bro, I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to, I just play my guys because I know football can do this, right? Especially the way Kyler plays. He had so much upside, man. I kind of just want to play him no matter what the matchup is. That's how I play my quarterbacks. I'm not even going to go into a lot of detail about that in fruit salad. It's just I'm playing my studs. That's how I look at quarterbacks. B Silver says Anthony Richardson or Jaden Daniels. I'm going with AR. I'm going with AR. Jonathan says, thank you. Your info is always appreciated. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, Paul. Jimmy says Giants offense is an absolutely train wreck. Are you still benching Neighbors? No. It just depends on my type of league. If you play in like a short team league where you only got a couple starters, I get it. You have to bench Neighbors. But me, I'm playing with 3 wide receivers, 3 flexes, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. So I have to start a guy like Neighbors for his upside. And when he doesn't score a lot of points, it doesn't really hurt me. But for your team, I can understand he is a bench if you only starting 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. You can't start him in that type of format. Tron says, I picked up Braylon off waivers once the Breach Hall news came out this morning. Facts. I did too. I already had him in my... I haven't dropped... Y'all know... I'm telling you, y'all guys think I'll be lying. And I'm winning in a lot of my leagues. I don't drop my guys. I ain't drop no Braylon Allen. I ain't drop no Neighbors. I don't drop my guys. If I believe in you, I'm going down with the ship. That's how I hit. So when Taysom Hill come around and people like, well, why do... I've been head Taysom from the beginning of the season. Isaiah Likely, I still ain't dropped him. I won't drop nobody, man. I'm loyal like that. If I believe in that process, have helped me throughout my life. No matter a friend, somebody like, hey man, I don't think he's a good friend. You know what? I'm gonna do it this way because this gonna show my loyalty, and I'm good whatever how it happens. I'm always gonna display my loyalty, and I think the way the world works, it rewards you for loyalty. So if you believe in a guy, he's really good, but the coach is not giving him targets. Well, guess what? Maybe in 10 weeks, he might start getting the targets. If you kept him, you hit. Now you got the winning lineup. Sometimes you might get the guy, and you might be out the playoffs. Then he start hitting. There's nothing you can do about that. Joy, what's up, bro? Siobhan, what's going on with you? She says Myers versus MVS. I will go with Myers with all those targets that he's getting. He got 15 targets last week. I'm going with Myers. Jimmy says, I think Tyreek will continue to struggle with the sore hand injury. Miami plays on a short week. I agree. I get what you're saying. I can't rebuttal what you're saying, but I'm going to play him. So this is when it gets everything gets kind of vague when we talk about these type of topics. I believe in it a little different, but sometimes it sounds like I'm telling y'all, hey, walk across the street with your eyes closed. It's life. That's not what I'm saying. But if you got Tyreek Hill, man, I can't put that on my bench. Until he goes to the bench, until he gets 2 targets, I can't put that on my bench. Because I hate to say it, and I'm being funny. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Excuse me, but it makes me feel like I want to delete myself. When what the hell are you thinking? This is Tyreek Hill, and you benched him, and he goes off for 40 points, and I get locked down another seed. I can never forgive myself. But if I start him and he give me 4 points, I can forgive myself. I can move on. That's how I see it. Now, if I trade him and I get a good piece, hell yeah, I'm willing to do that. But I'm not getting off of him for top level, and I'm not sitting him just because his hand is hurting. If he out there running them routes, and I see Tua dropping back and looking at him, I gotta play him. TG says, would you start Allen in the flex? Yes, if he's playing. I'm not starting him with Breach Hall active. But if Breach Hall is out, or on a snap count, like he only gonna play a little bit, and they tell us that, then yeah, I'm doing it. Maybe they trying to get off Breach because they want to save him and go to Braylon Allen. And a lot of you talked about that in the beginning of the season. Well, not the beginning, but in the middle of the season. You're like, you know what? Maybe they rest Breach and just put Braylon out there. Maybe that's what they doing. Sports Dog says, TD100, I'm a bit worried. I lost 2 running backs, Dobbins and Robinson, and now I hear Breach might be out, so I moved him to the flex. I could flex Jawan Jennings or more if needed. I have no other available running back. Yeah, so you're going to have to go to Abdullah, or you might have to just play DJ Moore. Either way, you will be okay. Play whatever you got to do, bro, to get through the weeks. We'll try to find some sleepers. I'm going to make videos. We're going to try to go through the waivers with a fine-tooth comb. So you'll put the best players out there that you can get. Whatever else is not in your control. You can't do anything about that. Cole says, Jameis Winston for MVP. Bro, if it comes to preaching and playing football, Jameis is the MVP. That man, he's a great motivation speaker. Is Lockett droppable now? Yes, he is. Lockett is droppable. It's JSN time all day. Siobhan says, I got A-Chain, Monty, and Chase Brown in the lineup. Tyrone Tracy could replace one of them in one of the running backs or flex or just leave it. I would say just leave it. You got A-Chain, Monty, and Chase Brown. The only way I would put Tyrone Tracy in is over Monty. But it doesn't seem like what happened last week ain't great. So I would probably just leave it because you got other good runners. You got A-Chain, you got Chase Brown. Paula says, with Pacheco set to come back this Friday, should I feel comfortable starting him over Najee? No, but if that's what you got to do, I don't feel great about starting Pacheco over any running back that's getting a lot of workload. Now, Najee's not getting a lot of workload. He's not getting 80 or 90. He's getting more like 50, 60%. But I don't think you should feel great about it. I think you just got to do what you got to do when it comes to Pacheco. Me, I traded off Pacheco. So, guys, I'm disingenuous when it comes to Pacheco because I just didn't want to wait for him to come back for a running back who's never going to get the green zone touches that everybody think he's going to get. He had 2 good games out of 5 that we thought he would be getting. I just think people got to know what this guy is. I think he's a good streamable running back RB2 flex play and let it fall. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's I got a league winner, and he gonna go down there and get 3 rushing touchdowns like a Saquon Barkley. That's not his game, but I thought we wanted that out of him. I think this team is willing to do anything to win. They willing to kick field goals, they willing to run the ball, they willing to throw the ball, they'll do anything, and that's not good for nobody on that team for his offensive side. It's not good. So I wouldn't feel great about starting Pacheco. Unless Kareem Hunt was to go down. Mike Shamrock says, G, you think Tua going to play well in Green Bay with the Cole or Purdy in Buffalo? I would rather go with Tua. They've been throwing a lot of short passes. Tua is more healthy than he was a couple years ago when he had played the whole season. I would rather go with Tua than to go with Purdy in Buffalo. Purdy got a hurt shoulder. I like Tua as a player. I'm not gonna let the matchups take me off. Now listen, bro, if you could go pivot to a guy who got a better situation, not Purdy, then it's good. I wouldn't even go to Derek Carr. I can't go to Derek Carr over Tua, man. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it. It might be the right move. I can't do it. So I get the way you thinking, Mike. I just think Tua's getting the ball out quick to Devon A-Chain. I think he can throw out some quick passes and let Jalen Water and Tyreek take it to the crib. All he needs is 2 passing touchdowns and about 250 yards. He's a good top 12 guy. Brock Purdy, to me, is good because he knows how to be a point guard for this team. But I never thought he was elite enough. He's kind of like Tua, maybe a little bit below Tua. They kind of like, they not Lamar's and Josh Allen's, but they good quarterbacks. They in a good system, they can win you a Super Bowl. That's what they are. So I would go with Tua, lesser of the evils. But if you got a guy that's got a great matchup, like a Justin Herbert or somebody, I know that's not really equating to what we're trying to talk about. But would I start AR over Tua? I don't know. He just came off a really good game. I don't know. Joey says start MVS or Vele. I'm going with MVS. I'm going with the upside. B Silver says Romeo Dobbs has been declared as out. Pick up Wicks. I'm not, but I think he's, as far as the mouth, it makes sense to pick up Wicks. I can't play. I'm not playing Wicks. Can I be biased? I probably could be biased. I probably could be a Christian Watson guy. I was on the Wicks. I like Wicks beginning of the season. I was like, yeah, he's pushing Christian Watson. He's pushing Dobbs. This guy goes out there for 2 weeks with only Jaden Reed and him, and he can't do shit. I'm like, never again. He's only good when he's the 5th wide receiver and everything is easy for him. I can't. When somebody get hurt, I don't want to play Wicks because we did it like 7 to 8 weeks ago, and he dudded everybody twice. Siobhan says happy Thanksgiving, TD, and to everyone. Thank you, Siobhan. Mike says, G, you like Love at quarterback or Kyler Murray versus Minnesota? G, you like Love at quarterback or Kyler Murray versus Minnesota? I like Love at quarterback. Now, what makes me a little nervous is Josh Jacobs is starting to get his feet under him. That makes me nervous. I still like Jordan Love. I still think Jordan Love one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I still think this team goes through Jordan Love. But hold on, let me look at some stuff. Hold on, just give me a second, bruh. Yeah, I'm going with Jordan Love. I know it's Green Bay. I'm still going with Jordan Love. King and like I said, I can't wait to hear your fourth quadrant concept. Once some of these top teams clinch, starters will be resting. Right. Facts. I tried to tell people that. That's why I talked about Kenneth Gainwell. I think Saquon will not be playing week 17. I don't think. Maybe he will. I hope that he. Man, I got a lot of Saquon. I hope that he does. But if he don't, I'm not going to complain because I'm ready for it right now. I'm ready for Kenneth Gainwell to come in there. And if Saquon start more than 2 quarters, if he start 3 quarters, I'm still playing Saquon. But if he only going to play a half, that shit makes me nervous. This is championship week. I don't want no excuses for myself. LA Real Gamer says Love Fantasy Production has taken a nosedive in the second half of the season. His 14 points of week 12 didn't help his case. I see it a little bit different. He got hurt. See, that's another thing. That's why Joe Burrow started off slow. Guys got to work through the injury. Remember, Joe Burrow kept doing this the whole time. Like, he would throw a pass and he would do that. Now he don't do that. And he's got in his groove. So, on a week-to-week basis, bro, you are telling the truth. But if you look at the macro of everything, he's been hurt. You know, Malik Willis had to play like 2 games. And then one game he came out and he had to come out of the game because he couldn't finish the game. So you got to give him a chance to get going. Remember last year he struggled a little bit. Once he got going, he was the best quarterback in the NFL. I think we have to give Jordan Love a chance to play 4 or 5 games to get his feet up on him, and I think the talent's gonna show. That's what I'm talking about, and that's why I kind of always tell y'all. Remember, I'm always talking from a coach point of view. Take my knowledge for what you need it for. It may not be something that you need right this week. If you're looking for this week and you're looking at the points, Jordan Love is not even a top 12 quarterback. But if you really look at it, Jordan Love is a top 3 quarterback. It's Lamar, Josh Allen. Jordan Love is up there. So the talent itself is there. That's why Caleb Williams. Nobody's going to sit there and say, if you're trying to put Caleb Williams on your fantasy team or dynasty, man, I think he's a 4th round. No, he's not a 4th round. He's still a 1st round pick. The upside is there. You see it when he's taking off and making these passes. But right now he's just struggling. But so I don't want to tell you to do something for fantasy to make you lose 1 week. But I also don't want you to drop somebody and let somebody else be playing Jordan Love against you, or you watching Jordan Love play in the playoffs and your team didn't make it. And you like, well, he didn't play good in the first half. That's how it works. That's how fantasy works, man. So I think I still like Jordan Love. But you right, bro, about Jordan Love. He hasn't been doing anything as far as the top games in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Sports Docs at TD100. Just a follow up. Have you heard any news on the severity of the injury of Dobbins and Robinson? Let me look at it real quick because I wanted to talk about news, but I didn't want this video to be all off on different topics. So let me look real quick, bro. Let me see, because that is important to me too. Okay, so he practiced Wednesday, which is today, 2 hours ago. He did practice. So I think this is Brian Robinson Jr. So I think he has a chance to play. And let me see. And Dobbins, let's look up Dobbins. Let's see what's going on with Dobbins. I think Dobbins is going to be out for sure. But we want to look at it and get it. Nursing an MCL sprain, and you know what his knees has done in the past. I think they're going to be careful with Dobbins because they don't want him to tear another ligament in the knee. So I think he's going to be out maybe a couple weeks because his knees he's like had multiple knee surgeries. So I would think that Dobbins is going to be out this week, and I would think Brian Robinson has a chance to play, but have a backup plan for both. Siobhan says Texas D versus Jacksonville D. I'm going with the Texans D. Or Tampa Bay D versus the Panthers. I would go with the Texans defense. I think the Panthers is playing different football right now, Siobhan. I dropped the Chiefs for Tampa Bay rest of the season schedule. Siobhan, I don't agree with that, but we'll come back and revisit that. I don't agree with that. I wouldn't have dropped the Kansas City defense no matter not for the Tampa Bay. I don't care how good they match. I don't care if they play in Harvard and Princeton. I'm not going to drop the Kansas City Chiefs defense, and they got some decent matchups coming up too. They just been playing against some tough teams. I mean, they've been shutting these guys down, but it's the NFL. So people are going to score, so you got to be able to watch the game and know if the defense is playing good and they just scoring points on them, or if the defense is playing bad. Vice versa, right? You got to kind of know what's going on. It ain't just what the stat line says. To me, when I watch defenses play, Chiefs looks like the best defense out there. Second or maybe two, maybe one, maybe three some weeks. Siobhan says have Tampa Bay defense in lined up right now. Right, and they got a good matchup. But remember, the Carolina Panthers are playing good. Chuba Hubbard is running that ball really good. Bryce Young looked better. He looked poised in the pocket like he did in college. So that would kind of worry me a little bit about Tampa Bay defense. Just a little bit. I still think they're okay start for this week. Vib says, you think Tyreek Hill still a play? Yes, I do. The way I play. If you got to play matchups and you got somebody else, bench them. Do what you need to do, bro. At this point in time, you have to make the right decision for your team. For my team, I don't have nobody like that come. I mean, I might have a Tyler Lockett, and I'm not putting Tyler Lockett in for Tyreek Hill. But if you got better plays out there, bro, do what you got to do. Tyreek's no longer a star, but I'm going to say, if y'all ask me, I'm going to tell you he's a star because he's still a start on my team. I'm never going to tell y'all to do anything that I wouldn't do. Tough matchup, and Tua not giving him the targets. Facts. I may play in the flex. What do you think? I'm starting him. He's not coming out there just to run a bunch of routes with a hurt wrist. If that was the case, then he need to get shut down and wait for next year. Dirk Boy says, happy Thanksgiving, bro. Pick two. Amari Cooper, Watson, Judy, and Mooney. I'm going with Judy and Amari Cooper. Julian says, for the rest of the season, would you rather have Lab McConkey or D-Hop? I would rather have Lab McConkey. You see how things change? We are D-Hop, and I love D-Hop going there too. It just ain't. It's boring. It ain't even. Hopefully he get a touchdown. He ain't gonna break no long pass. Break for a long pass. He's not gonna jump ball nobody for 40, 50 yards touchdown. It's just out there running an in route or a slant or two. I would say I would rather have Lab McConkey. That's why I say rookies ball out in the fourth quadrant over these veteran players. That's why I told people to watch out for Mike Evans. Good thing Mike Evans got hurt early. Now I think he's going to be a fourth quadrant player. But if he would have been playing all year, this is the time where he get hamstring injuries in the cold weather. And that's why I was like, man, I'm not buying low on no old ass player. And I'm disrespecting these guys because Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. But far as in all these other young players like Brian Thomas Jr. and stuff, I'd rather have those guys than over Mike Evans or somebody like that. So Lab McConkey over D-Hop rest of the season. What's up, Joy? Appreciate you, bro. LA Regan says Jordan Love is more of a streamer than a starter at this point of the season. Bro, and you right. You can look at it however you need it, bro. I just don't see fantasy that way. And the only thing that I can show y'all so y'all don't think I'm talking cuckoo is to show you my leagues. I don't break my players down the way some of you. And listen, I would digress. It's you breaking it better down than I am. I'm just quick to him like, oh, Jordan Love, he's starting. Boom, boom, boom. That's why I was the only one that said that Jordan Love was going to be a great quarterback last year, and everybody said I was crazy because I didn't look at no numbers. I looked at, oh, this guy can play. Like when I watch the game, guys, I'm in the matrix. I promise you. Like I'm not looking at the wide receivers. If I want to look at the wide receiver, I'll look at them. But I'm giving y'all the gas. I like to look right at the middle between the center guards and the quarterback, and I'm watching the quarterback how he moves. When he relaxed and he poised, I'm watching how he move up in the pocket and all of that type of stuff. And when I see that Jordan Love is elite, that's Aaron Rodgers, baby. That's Brett Favre, baby. And when I'm trying to say pause, he got that Green Bay swag at that quarterback position. That's why he'll put them ball out there for people to make plays. That's what Green Bay quarterbacks do. Aaron Rodgers took care of the ball, but the rest of including Aaron Rodgers, they all would make plays, back shoulder throws, even when guys was covered. So I love Jordan Love, bro. I think he's going to be a fourth quadrant guy, and I think he's going to have big plays in the fantasy football championship. I'm not telling you to take him out of the streaming situation. I'm just telling you what he is, right? So what you saying, man? He's a bi-weekly star guy. That's fine, but I bet you he's going to outscore Baker Mayfield. He's going to outscore all these guys as when we get into week 15, 16, and 17, because they need to win those weeks to get the number 1 or number 2 seed. Alicia says, I heard snow in Green Bay. Snow is good. Wind is bad. Snow is okay. People have big time games in snow. But when that snow is blowing in your face and you got to wipe your face, that's when it's bad. I don't want to play any offensive players. But just snow on the ground or snow falling, that's fine. And we just don't want wind with that. TZ says, just this week, who would you go with? Murray, Herbert, or Jaden? Probably Herbert. Probably Herbert, bruh. Yeah, I'm going with Herbert. Bruh. I heard that too, Elisa. She says Daniel Jones is signing with Minnesota. Yes, I heard that. He's going to quarterback school. I've told y'all about that. Why you think Jameis went to New Orleans? You got to go to quarterback school. Yeah, I'm going, but yeah, bro, TZ, I'm going with Herbert over Murray and Jaden. LA Real Gamer says Debo does not deserve to be in your starting lineup until he proves himself again. I think you preaching facts. I didn't draft any Debo this year. That was on. If you go back and watch that video, I'm gonna tell y'all something, guys. A lot of you, it's a few of you that really know my content. A lot of you, and I'm not talking about you, LA Real Gamer. This has nothing, because bro, I watch you always on the live, so you understand. But guys, a lot of you don't even know the videos that I made. And that's fine. I get it. We all got stuff going on. But I talked about Debo beginning of the season. There's a lot of guys that I said, why are you drafting this? Don't draft this guy. And Debo ain't the only one. There's a lot of guys on that list that, I'm like, I'm not drafting that guy. I'm not drafting it. And I was like, they might be better later on. But Debo, no, you cannot play Debo. I don't want Debo nowhere near on my team. Not that he's a bad player, but he's too volatile. He's hurt all the time. One big game, he's hurt. Jack Boo says, need a running back badly. Basically starting nobody in my RB2 slot. Trade away JSN for Pollard. No, I wouldn't trade away JSN for Pollard. Means I have to start Debo or Hawkinson in my flex. I think you need to go to the waiver. Now, if you're not starting JSN, hell yeah, make that trade right now. If you're starting JSN, I don't know your wide receivers. Unless JSN is your fourth best wide receiver and you can't get him in your lineups, then yeah, go do that. But if you start JSN, there's no way I'm trading him for Tony Pollard. I would have to, no. I'm not going to tell you to trade away a trending player for the fourth quadrant just to get a running back. Now, Pollard is good. I don't know if I would say, yeah, man, it's a good trade and you can go forward and win the championship. I don't know if that's true. I don't know the rest of your team. In a vacuum, I just don't feel good about that. Tron says, Brian Robinson practicing today. Yes, he is. Jack Boosa, or I can trade Madison and Debo for Najee. But he has a super tough playoff schedule. Yeah. I like trading Madison and Debo for Najee. Trading those two guys for whatever you can get, I'm okay with. You're not trading no fourth quadrant trending player. So I like that move. Hopefully you can get somebody better than Najee. But if you had to do it just to get an RB2 right there, I think that's fine. Siobhan says, I heard that both Las Vegas corners are injured. Believe backups may be playing instead of them. So KC should have a good game if that is true. Facts. I love Xavier Worthy this week. I love Xavier Worthy for the fourth quadrant. They need his presence to make this offense click. Yes, Elisa says Dobbins is out. Right. Rainy Angel says, don't be surprised if Purdy struggles in the cold against the Bills in his first game back from that injury. Right. I don't want to start Purdy regardless. I I just don't want to start him against Buffalo in the cold. Jay Moore said, "What's good, my guy? Just tuning in. Thank you, bro. Siobhan says, "Would you drop Tillman for Judy if I had to? Make sure you can start Judy. Just don't swap out just to say I swapped them out, but they here on my bench. If you make that move, have a way to get Judy in your lineup. Make moves that's going to really help your team. Now, running backs can be on the bench because we have to wait for those guys. Wide receivers, I'm not waiting for no wide receiver. I can't do it. The wide receivers, I got to have you getting targets immediately. At least 8 to 10 targets if I'm starting you at the 1 or the 2 spot. Running backs, shit, you going to have to get a carry for 10 weeks and I'm going to still stash you. But wide receivers, I don't stash wide receivers. If I get a wide receiver, he's going to get in my lineup very, very quickly, or I'm in the playoffs and I'm playing defense, or I'm just playing defense so I can get a good seed and go to the playoffs. Don't stash wide receivers. Stash running backs, especially in the 4th quadrant in the cold. Jay Moore said, "How do you feel about them wide receivers, man?" I think it's a lot of them. We don't know. I'm willing to stream them if I need a guy for a certain week, like week 14. I might stream if they don't have a bye. I stream Troy Franklin. I stream Marvin Mims. That's all they are to me. Courtland Sutton is a top 36 wide receiver at this point. If you got a 3 wide receivers starting in your league, Courtland Sutton needs to be started. If it's 2 wide receivers, he could be a flex play. Michael Pittman, that's a guy that should be picked up off waivers. I would pick him up if I could. Now this is what I say about Michael Pittman. Reason why you would pick him up, even though you wouldn't have a plan to play him, this guy can come back and hunt you. So maybe you can play defense with him for a couple of weeks and then drop him later. But I don't want him sitting out there and want somebody streaming him, picking him. Well, week 14 he got a bye. But I don't want nobody picking him up and he start training with AR and then I got to play against this team in the playoffs. They got Michael Pittman and AR or something like that, right? Jay Moore says, "Should I still play Herbert over Nicks?" Yes. Sport Dog says 8-team standard quarterbacks, Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Herbert was a great matchup. Lamar will be tested this week. Do you have a favorite? And thanks for the news on Robinson. Hope I can use him in the flex. I'm playing Lamar regardless. It's not even a consideration. Again, I think I understand this. I'm not saying this is going to be the perfect move every single time you're in this situation. These things can go either way. I'm going down with the ship that the people that I believe in. Lamar is a fantastic, unbelievable player. I'm going to play him every single week. That's just how I see it. Any concerns? Jay Moore said, "Any concerns about Tracy moving forward?" Yes, he's fumbling. I don't know if they took his job, but I'm going to start him in a couple leagues that I don't know what they're going to do, and I need a running back. So I'm going to start Tyrone Tracy, and he could go out there and get no carries, and I get dudded, or he could go out there and get the same role and have a top 24 RB week. I'm still going to assume that he is starting and he's getting the same workload, and then if I see something different, I get off of it. That's how I see it. But it is up in the air. I will be honest with you. We don't know if he still got the same role after him fumbling a 3rd time in 3 straight weeks. MVM says Herbert or JD5. I'm going with Herbert. MVM says Kelsey or Taysom Hill. I'm going with... I'm not telling you to bench any one of those guys. I don't do that anymore, MVM, because people would come back and try to tell me that I made a wrong call between Kelsey and Taysom Hill. And you can't go wrong either way. So this is what I'm going to say. I think Taysom Hill got the sauce right now. But I believe Kelsey is a must start. So I'm not trying to talk out of both sides of my mouth. Just telling you tomato. Both guys are great. But I'm probably playing Taysom Hill because I like the upside. And I don't want to leave that type of boom potential on my bench while he's trending. All right, guys, I got to get out of here soon because my phone is going dead. But Mike says, also have a great Thanksgiving Turkey Day, bro. My wife is a fan now. Go 49ers. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Mike. Blessings to the fam, man. Jay Moore says, picked up Brandon Allen off Ravens thoughts. That's a great stash. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a great job, Jay Moore. Jay Moore says, who you like more this week, Christian Watson or Pittman? Pittman. Siobhan says, Hawkinson versus Arizona or Njoku versus Denver. I'm going with Njoku versus Denver. And listen, I'm biased. I'm gonna pick my players right now that we in the fourth quadrant. I'm going down with my players, Siobhan. So if you want to go with Hawkinson, that's fine. Njoku, I'm not sitting him for nobody. Now, Taysom Hill, I got Taysom Hill and Njoku in the league. You know what I'm doing? I'm playing both because I don't have nobody else. I got a Malik Neighbors, but he played bad enough for me to put Taysom Hill in the slot instead of Malik Neighbors with Tommy DeVito being a starting quarterback. So, man, it's a lot of nuances in this when it comes to starts and sits. It ain't just always this, and this, and this, and this. Sometimes it's this and this. And it's always something different where I'm going to use certain things to make my decisions. Sometimes it could be just my heart and my gut. And I always tell y'all, respect your heart and your gut. Some people see that as a weakness, that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just out here just shouting and, hey guys, see, I'm just doing a channel and I don't care about analytics and anything. A lot of times people think that what it is. Well, I'm just telling you the straight facts. Ain't even coaches go with their gut. They don't watch these guys practice for several months and they just, well, you know what, the analytics says I'm gonna play the backup. I'm gonna play Baker Mayfield's backup. No, Baker is my guy. Baker, you starting. Even though you got a hurt ankle, I'm still starting you. Those are the decisions that we got.